Hello, welcome back. This is a little bit of in addition to review for the chapter 4 exam, chapter 3 exam. I'm sorry about that. I'm working on some of the problems over variation on page 318. And I thought we could go through 18, 19, and 20. So let me go ahead and share my screen so you can see the book, and then we'll work this out together. So 18. So 18 says, a quantity y varies directly with the square of x. If y is 50 when x is 5, find y when x is 3. So the first thing we have to do is set up our basic equation. What is this description? So it says y varies directly with the square of x. Y varies directly means that there's going to be some constant of variation, this proportionality constant k, multiplied by x because they vary directly with the square of x. So we have to square x. So once we have this, then our goal is to find out what does k equal so we can write our full equation. So we know that y is 50. It says when x is 5. So we can say 50 equals 5 squared is 25 times k. So to solve for k, so we know what that is, we can divide by 25. And we find out that k equals 2. So now our full equation when y varies directly with the square of x is y equals 2x squared. Now we can use this equation to further find the next question. At the end, it says find y when x is 3. So find y when x is 3. So I'm going to put 3 in for x, and we get 2 times 9, and we find out that y is 18. So the first step is to write what is our basic setup if it's direct or inverse variation, and then use what the true statement that we've been given to find out what that k is, the constant of proportionality, and then rewrite your equation once you know k, and then you can answer the last question. So let's look at number 19 here. 19 is, it says, quantity z varies jointly with x and the cube of y. So jointly means we've got two variables over here. Okay, if z is 15 when x is 5 and y is 2, find z when x is 2 and y is 3. So first we have to write what we think this varying jointly means. So z varies jointly with, so we have, that means we have our k. Varying jointly means we have with x and the cube of y. So I think that's going to be it. It varies jointly with x and the cube of y. And then it says, we know that when z is 15, we don't know what k is when x is 5 and y is 2. And remember, that's 2 cubed. So 15 equals k times 5 times 2 cubed is 8. So that's 15 equals 40 times k. And so when we divide by 40, we get k, and 15 divided by k. Let's go to Desmos and find that. So 15 divided by 40 is 0.375. So k equals 0.375. So our equation we're working with is z equals 0.375 times x times y cubed. I'll show you my paper here in a moment. It says find z when x is 2 and y is 3. So I'm going to take you back to my paper so you can see where I put this in. So we got k to be 0.375. And so we know our equation is z equals 0.375 xy cubed. And they said, now find z when we know x is 2 and y is 3. So we have 0.375 times 2. 3 cubed is times 27. So this is 0.375 times 2 times 27 is 54. And so we just need to find out what 0.375 times 54 is. We can go to Desmos for that. 0.37 is 20.25. So z is equal to 20.25. And then let's go to number 20. We'll take a look at that one. So number 20 says maximum load. The maximum load L, a horizontal beam can safely hold. So if you had a lot of people are redoing their homes to look like these old farmhouses where they have big beams in the ceiling. So if this horizontal beam can safely hold varies jointly with the width W and the square of the depth and inversely with the length. Okay, so if a 10-foot beam with width 3 and depth 4 feet will safely hold up to 800 pounds, how many pounds will a 12-foot beam with width 3 feet and depth 4 feet hold? Okay, so let's write this, how we think this is. So it's the L, it says varies jointly, and it's varying jointly, so we have our K, constant proportionality. It's varying jointly with the width, W, and the square of the depth, so D squared, and inversely, so that means the next thing goes in the denominator, inversely with the length. That's going to be a little L. So because inversely means that that variable inversely goes in the opposite, it goes in the denominator. So we have to solve for K. So it says if a 10-foot beam, okay, so the length of the 10-foot beam is, if the length is 10, with width 3, so 3 for W, and depth is 4, and that gets squared, holds up to 800 pounds. So the L is the load in pounds. We're going to solve for K. So let's see what we can come up with. 800 equals K times 3, and then 4 squared is 16 over 10. 800 equals 3 times 16 is 48 K over 10. So 48 divided by 10 is 4.8. So this is 4.8 K equals 800. And then we're going to divide by 4.8 to get K. So K equals 800 divided by 4.8. Let's see what that is. So 800 is 166.67 is K. And then they said, find K, or now use that information with K and create your real equation here. So our real equation is L equals 166.67 times WD squared over little l. And he said, what is the load? How much can it hold if we have, it says if we have a 12-foot beam, so the length is 12 on bottom. And we have K is 166.67. They said the width is 3 and the depth is 4, and that's going to be squared. And we want to find out how much can this hold. So we're going to type this into decimals. Here. Okay. So we've got 166.67. I'm going to put the 12 on the bottom. So 166.67 times 3 times 4 squared. And it looks like it's 666.68 pounds. 666.68 pounds. And I will show you what that looks like on that paper. So it can hold 666.68 pounds. So those should support you on the review for variation on chapter 3 test.